From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Yeah. All right. So, Justin Fields, great player, man. Let's see if they will pull the trigger on this kid, man. I think that it's going to be very, very sketchy come draft day because they'll be talking Trey Lance this. But San Francisco should pull the trigger because I know the Falcons definitely will pull the trigger because I honestly feel like that's his better fit. And I think that with their owner, they would be, he would love having a quarterback like Justin Fields. It would be like having Mike Vick all over again. So pretty much I do like the way that he's moving up and they're noticing that, this kid is special. And I still think that he should be the number one quarterback on a lot of people's boards. So there it is with Justin Fields. Let's go ahead and move forward. Talk about Penai Sewell. And I know I haven't talked about the offensive lineman much. Is he the safest pick in the draft this year? I would say, yeah. I think that the Jets don't need to think about any quarterback at all. You got Sam Darnold. Now you got a new coach. Now you can probably have a better scheme. And with a better scheme, you'll have a better quarterback. You'll have a better team. Every time the Jets won a game, it was because Sam Darnold led them to the victory. And every time they lost the game, it was an array of different mistakes that happened all over the field, from special teams, defense, and offense. So it was just all phases of the ball were mediocre. So at the end of the day, you have to go ahead and look at Penei Sewell, who will go ahead and stopgap a pretty big hole in their team, which is the offensive line, and then he'll be the guy that can go ahead and lead this offensive line. That's exactly what quarterbacks need. Wide receivers and running backs come a dime a dozen. You can go on the streets and go get those guys. But to have a good lineman, you got to go ahead and have somebody who's sturdy, who already has the pedigree from college and everything like that to excel on the next level. And honestly, always the offensive linemen are probably the players that adapt to the NFL the quickest. Like literally, like they can literally know exactly what they're doing once preseason's over. And the way that this guy makes holes and makes things happen, there's no doubt about it that the Jets have to pick this kid up. And come on, he already went to a school that wears green and he looks good in the color as is. So why not? You just got to go ahead and take him. I think he's the safest pick in the draft. And the Jets should not be worrying about the new quarterback. They need to worry about building this team from the trenches and getting yourself some good defensive linemen as well too. And I think that's exactly what Coach Sahaya is going to do moving forward here. So we'll see how it goes. But Penei Sewell, safest pick in the draft, we will see. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our next topic at hand, and that's going to be the player of the night. And then with the player of the night, it was Devin Booker last night. 45 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Devin Booker doing Devin Booker things, leading his team to a 121-116 victory over the Chicago Bulls last night. But Devin Booker, once again, the All-Star snub shows out last night, gets himself a 45-point game the right way. And they looked pretty good last night as well, too. And they are moving forward, making sure that they got things going in the right direction. So, pretty much props to Mr. Booker last night on having such a big game. All right, so we move on to the state of the Lakers. And the Lakers last night had a good little team effort. Drummond came through, and he was here, and he looked good. But thing is, he hurt his toe. The guy was changing the shoes too much. So thing is, that's what happens. I guess he couldn't get comfortable last night, so he left in the second half. But it's okay. I think that was kind of, it is what it is. The guy hasn't played in 2 months, so hey, things like that happen. And I kind of felt like we might run into something like that. But, he did look good. You love the rebounding factor. You love the defensive factor that he brings to the table as well. And then you love the fact that he's going to be a guy that can score down low for you when the opportunities presented. So that does look good. But once again, my questions are free throw shooting, and mentality, because it's different when you're playing for a winning team. When you're playing for a losing team, you can quit quicker. But when you play for a winning team, you're going to have to be in this game until the very end. So we're going to see how it goes. But all in all, the Lakers squad looked pretty good until about midway point of the second quarter, and that's when things fell apart. So, all in all, at the end of the day, the Lakers know what's going on. They know what they're dealing with. So, nobody should expect anything from the Lakers at this point but to try to win the games against teams that aren't very good. But when we play against really good teams, it's probably going to be lights out until we get LeBron and AD back. But Lakers are still in a good pole position right now to be exactly where they need to be when the playoffs start as well, too. Now, the Pacific Division crown might not be a possibility this year, but it's okay. We don't play for the division. We play for the whole enchilada. So there it is. That's the state of the Lakers for you. And the Kings up next, and we're going to see how that goes on Friday night. And I have more for you guys tomorrow. All right, so we want to go ahead and send happy trails to the great Roy Williams. Roy Williams was able to coach at two of the greatest universities in all of college basketball. His career, he started off as a top assistant. He worked himself up to being a top assistant with the great one over at North Carolina, Dean Smith. And then he was able to coach Michael Jordan as well too, and actually work with Michael Jordan on the early phases of him being the greatest player. So, he has a lot of Jordan stories and things of that nature. But back in about 89, 90, he was hired right away by the Kansas Jayhawks once they lost head coach Larry Brown back to the NBA after winning the national title. So he was able to go establish his career over at Kansas, coach some great players at Kansas as well too, provide the NBA with a few All-Stars while he got there. But his legacy really was cemented when he headed over to North Carolina. He couldn't win a national championship at Kansas, but the moment he got to North Carolina, that's the first thing that they did was win a national title for old Roy. And then Roy was able to collect, I think, 3 or 4 in that time span of coming over to North Carolina, coming back home. So Roy Williams, rightfully so. I feel like he maybe stayed over about 2 years, a little bit too much. But you know what? At the end of the day, you can't tell these coaches when they want to retire. They retire on their own time. And I think there might be something a little bit more than just wanting to go down the road, not coach the team anymore. Because coaches like him, like literally, they die coaching, dude. Seriously. So happy trails to Roy Williams. A great career, a great coach. And you know what? His impact on the college game will be seen for the next forever. So pretty much happy trails once again to Roy Williams, and thank you for everything you did. So with that, we will be back. You guys check out hackclub.com. You guys go ahead and pay $50 or better. You get 10% off. I got the link in the show description for you. So once again, that's www.hackclub.com. And you guys go ahead and get the $50 order. You guys get a 10% discount on that. And there it is. That's going to be hackclub.com. So with that, we will be right back. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll Have Another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube. All right, we are back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. All right, so it's MLB Opening Day, and as you guys can see, Frankie Lindor got paid 10 years, $341 million to be the premier shortstop in the MLB. But then, he got Tatis right there as well, too. So, pretty much they'll be dueling back and forth. They'll be comparing these two for the next maybe 5 years. So I'm not going to say the next decade or so, because they always come up with the new flavor of the week every year. So it is what it is. But Francisco Lindor was the catalyst, the X factor for the Indians the past half decade or so. He was a vital part of their run to the World Series as well, too. That ended in a 7-game loss to the Cubs. So Lindor joins the National League now. He's a player that you really do have to say, okay, he has a possibility of being the MVP next year because he's just that good. And he got paid. That's the reason why he was moved to New York. He was moved to a major market because these were the teams that would have probably been in the room trying to sign him anyway, away from Cleveland. Now, Cleveland, all they get is some assets back from the Mets. You don't know if they'll pan out and be a Francisco Lindor, but right now, Francisco Lindor puts the Mets in a position to where they can take the NL East and be right there vying with the Dodgers for the NLCS. And so pretty much it is what it is at the end of the day. The Mets are making big moves again, and they're trying to be in an arms race with the best of the best in the MLB. So you can't knock them for that. So we're going to see how it goes. But Frankie Lindor, though, his stock just rose up so much. And I'm going to tell you like this. He's in New York City. And so we'll be seeing him in a lot of ads very soon as well, too. So I look forward to it. And Francisco Lindor deserves all of this because he earned all of this. All right, so we move forward and let's get into Blue Crew Daily. And with the Blue Crew Daily, we're opening up in Denver tonight. It should be an interesting series. I don't put any guarantees on the Dodgers here because it's a division rival. And I'm going to tell you one thing. One thing that the Rockies can do, they can start a season off very well. And I know for a good 4 or 5 years straight, I took them as my dog of the day on opening day. But today, they play the Dodgers. They're at home. I can't trust them. I trust them more when they're on the road and they're plus 250 and all that good stuff. But today, they might have a possibility of winning the game. But I think all in all, the Dodgers should be good. You got Kershaw on the mound. He's always done very well in Colorado. He's one of the better pitchers pitching in that stadium as well too, because we all know that a home run can be hit in that park at any time. So Kershaw has done very well there. I think that this is going to be more like a spring training game, so you get him 5-6 innings in there, and then you know what, you probably open it up a little bit with the bullpen, get them some time, and then you move forward from there, and hopefully the Dodgers will be cruising and be well ahead in the game as well too. But that is the Blue Crew Daily, and pretty much you guys be ready for the daily, not just a daily segment on the show, but also a daily article about the game as well too. So you guys be on the lookout for that, and it should be fun. So it is what it is at the end of the day. So we move forward. So we move forward, and this is where we at, AL Pennant Winner. And my thing is like this: it's 2-1 for the Yanks this year, and I think everybody's going to take that bet. Yankees AL Pennant Winner, and then you have the 8-1 with the A's, and then you have the 3-1 with the White Sox, and the 18-1 with the Angels. So there it is, AL Pennant Winner. And that's how I'm looking at it. Those are the 4 teams that I have in place. And I put the Angels there just simply because they have the best player in baseball, and they have the guy who used to be the best player in baseball a decade ago. So pretty much at some point, they got to start winning some games because, I'm feeling bad for Artie because Artie's up in here investing so much money into making this Angels team just like the Dodgers, and they're actually going in reverse of what the Dodgers are doing. So Angels, I think they're stepping it up this year. So that's why I'm putting them here at 18-1. So there it is. And then we have the NL Pennant Winner. NL Pennant Winner, I got the Dodgers at plus 135. They got the Dodgers. The Dodgers will be a minus 150 by no time. Then it's 7-2 on the Braves as well, too, and 7-2 on the Mets, and then 11-1 on the Cardinals as well. So that's my NL Pennant Winner, and you see the long shot there being the Cardinals, and then you see the Braves and the Mets both being a 7-2 right here, plus 450 if you want to know exactly what the number is. So pretty much there it is with the NL Pennant Winner, and let's check out my World Series odds, and these are the best World Series odds I've seen, and this is the 5 teams I would really be all over it. We got 225 on the Dodgers, 425 on the Yanks, plus 875 on the Mets, 16-1 on the A's, and plus 875 on the Braves as well, too. I think these are some good numbers, and I think one of these 5 teams will be your World Series champion this year as well, too. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling it now, all right? So there it is, the World Series odds. And with that, you guys check out Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus is a very fun streaming app and things of that nature. You guys will be able to watch all your favorite shows that come on CBS, TNT, TBS, all that good stuff. Everything that's under the Paramount umbrella, Viacom, all that good stuff. And so you guys check it out and put in the promo code VSX, and you guys will get yourself a nice little treat, paying $9.99 a month for it. But you guys can also pay $49.99 for the whole year and just have it for the whole year. So Paramount Plus, there it is. And we'll be back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? We are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, and it's time to get into the NBA Thursday preview. And then with the NBA Thursday preview, we have the 76ers at the Cavaliers. This has jumped up to a plus 10 as we speak. Last night it was at a plus 8.5 when I was putting these into our graphics. So pretty much when you look at this, you got a 76ers team on fire, been playing real good without Embiid, and you got a Cavs team that's still trying to rebuild. Cavs lost their last 4 out of 5, while the 76ers have won their last 3 out of 5. But they have dropped their last 2 games in a row as well, too. So this is kind of like a much-needed game for them here in this spot. So to me, I really do feel like what happens here is that you wind up having yourself a pretty good game. But I think the Cavs are going to make the 76ers work a little bit, because I think they're going to overlook them with the idea that they can just walk in here and just walk all over the Cavs. But, you know, when you give a home team a plus 10, it's always something that you might want to take a risk on. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, and we're taking the plus 10 on the Cavs. So let's move forward. All right, so we have ourselves, our next game is going to be, I like to call it the game of the night, but you know what? It's going to be tough to be the game of the night when you have Harden, who's a game time decision. You got Blake Griffin, who's out. But what's new with Blake Griffin being out of a game nowadays? You know what I mean? I think Blake Griffin is playing like maybe twice a week for the Nets until the playoffs, to be honest with you. So there's nothing to get excited about there when you think about the comeback of Blake Griffin. I'm so glad the Lakers dodged that bullet. All right, so pretty much you got the Hornets coming in here. No LaMelo tonight, but you know what? This team doesn't really care. They have the spirit of winning now. That's why, you know, the LaMelo impact was so huge in the beginning this year, because he showed he helped them win games that they would have never won last year. Now they have the mentality that, okay, somebody needs to step up that 15, 20 points that LaMelo's getting, and if I'm getting that time, then I'm going to be that guy tonight. So pretty much they've stepped it up as a whole, as a team, and they're playing much better basketball than anybody expected. So, you know, this is going to be a tough game for Brooklyn tonight, and I like the Nets a lot. I like the Nets in this spot do present a great value, because they, you know, it's not their usual 7 or 8 points, but to me, the Hornets present the winner. I'm going to go ahead and take them with the plus 135 tonight on the money line. And that's got way too many people just not in the game tonight. So we move forward. Let's go ahead and talk about the Hawks and the Warriors and the Heat. The Warriors and the Heat All right, Steph's going to be in this game tonight, and the Heat, brand new. You got Oladipo out there with Jimmy Butler, so we're going to see how it shakes out and see how it goes. But I think that you can probably expect the over in this spot, in my opinion. But we'll see how. But we'll have to see. It's going to be some good gameplay on both sides. So let's when you look at it, you got a Warriors team that had been struggling, but Steph came back the other night. They looked pretty good, but all in all, though, dropped their last 4 out of 5, and the Warriors just going through the motion. They're trying to hold on to that A seed as well too. And then you got the Heat, who had lost 3 in a row, but now they've won their last 2 in a row, including last night with a win over the Pacers. So pretty much, here we are, and here it is. And from this is what we're gonna do. I'm looking at it now. I say to myself that it looks like this could be a scoreboard watching game. So there it is. We move forward from there. All right, we got the Hawks and the Spurs. The Hawks and the Spurs, the Hawks have had a terrible time against the Western Conference this year. The Spurs have been winning a lot of games at home lately as well. So when I look at this situation right here, I say to myself that, you know what, this is another game that you're probably going to have to go ahead and scoreboard watch here. So that's what I'm going to do here is scoreboard watch. So the Hawks at the Spurs, this should be a doozy tonight. You got Trey going against DeMar. So, it should be a lot of fun in that. And one of our more under-the-radar games tonight as well, too. And when you look at the last 5 games for both of these teams, you have yourself the Hawks, who've been on a road trip these last 6 games, and the Hawks have only won 1 game, and that was against the Warriors, beating them 124-108. And then you have the Spurs, who have dropped 3 out of 5, but they've won their last 2 out of 3. So, pretty much they're kind of in the middle there. So there it is, Hawks, Spurs. It should be a good one tonight, and we'll watch the board. All right, and our final game in review is going to be the Nets at the Clippers, Nuggets at the Clippers, and this should be a good one as well. I think that the Clippers losing to Orlando the other night was a huge shock because nobody's supposed to lose to Orlando like that. Seriously, when you're one of the better teams in the NBA, you don't lose to Orlando. But the Lakers lost to the Wizards because that's just the NBA for you. That's professionals for you. Got to love that part, right? So pretty much you got the Nuggets coming in here. I think the Nuggets go ahead and give the Clippers back-to-back losses here. So I'm going to take them tonight with the minus 125 in this spot. And that's our NBA Thursday preview for you. And you guys check out Fubo TV. You guys can get all the live sports there and watch all the great games on Fubo TV. You guys can also get your news, your entertainment, all that good stuff. So there it is, Fubo TV. Another really good this is a great entity to have right here. And you guys check it out. You guys get 7 days free on me. So you don't have to move forward with them after that. Or if you do, just note that you're going to pay $55 a month, no credit check. And once you're done with Fubo, you can move on down the road. All right. So with that, we will be right back. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing. With daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, and I'm your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and we are here on the final stretch of the show, and you already know what time it is. It's time to talk them tickets, and up first is the NBA Super High Five at 27-1 tonight. We're going to go ahead and, like I said before, we're going to take the Cavs with the plus 10, and then we're going to take the Hornets tonight plus 135 money line. Also, the over 219.5 for the Warriors and the Heat, the over 220.5 for the Hawks and the Spurs. And then we end the night with the Nuggets at -105, and this is going to give us a ticket that is 27-1. And here goes my late MLB pick 4. These are all the games that start at about after 4 o'clock Pacific time. And pretty much with this, our next one, MLB late pick 4, we have ourselves 11-1 ticket and the +1.5 on the Nats, over 8 on the Astros and A's game. We got the White Sox money line -115, and we have the under 8 Giants Mariners to end the night. And that's going to be an 11-1 ticket, and that's our first late pick 4. And also, I've already went ahead and released the opening day tickets. We had a dog pick 4 and a pick 6 for that as well too. There's just a lot of MLB games. So there it is for today. We should have a good little group for you tomorrow as well too, because games will not start as early. So then I can go ahead and have a wider range. These are just the late West games. And actually, from what I'm seeing right now, the Nats game is going to be canceled due to some player, somebody might be COVID positive. I don't know. But thing is, though, they're not going to play until Saturday from what I'm seeing now. So we got 3 games here at the end of the night. So it looks like it'll probably be about a 7-1 ticket for you. Okay. So there it is. If you guys want to go ahead and use these bets, go to YouWager where the world bets at. And you guys can use the promo code VSXPOP. With that, you guys will get up to 50% on a match deposit, and you guys will wind up, if you go ahead and put up 200, they'll match the 100, and you guys will be in the money, and you can start your sports betting journey with that. All right, so pretty much want to go ahead and let you guys know. Thank you for tuning in today. Tomorrow, we're going to bring in our usual Wednesday guy, Mike Abadir, for Friday. So we'll be talking the Final Four and everything with him tomorrow, and talking about the opening day and expectations moving forward and things of that nature, all that good stuff. So make sure to tune in for that tomorrow. And, at the same time tomorrow at noon. So you guys make sure to, tune on in. So once again, this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.